I'd like to welcome people to the second lecture, where I'll be presenting the work of Sigmund Freud and a psychoanalytic theory that he founded. This will be followed by the third lecture, where I'll talk about B.F. Skinner and the behaviorist theory that he founded. And so what we're doing in this one and the next one is working on the foundations of psychology, exploring the grand theories that started the field off. And one of the things that makes these theories interesting and sort of exceptional compared to contemporary work is that they really are grand theories. They have a great deal of scope. So most of the work we're going to be talking about throughout the course, most of the ideas and research are narrow. They have specific focus, specific domains they're looking at. So you might have a theory of prejudice. That's not going to be the same as a theory of language acquisition. Your explanation for sexual attractiveness isn't going to be the same as your theory of schizophrenia. In contrast, the work of Freud and the work of Skinner, which we'll talk about next week, are meant to encompass just about everything that matters. Now, this isn't a history course. I'm not so much interested in wrong ideas from the past, but the reason to devote so much time to these scholars is that their ideas really do have a powerful influence about how we think about the mind right now. For better or worse, we live in a world profoundly affected by Sigmund Freud. His work has influenced how we think about every aspect of day-to-day life, how we think about the development of children, the causes and cures of mental illness, origins of religion, the nature of war, and everything you want to know about love, romance, and sex. He's had a profound influence on the 20th and 21st century, and if there's one psychologist you've ever heard of, it's going to be Freud. Freud has had a huge influence on contemporary culture, mostly, for instance, reflected in television shows, where he shows up in Star Trek: The Next Generation, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, The 7% Solution, where he meets Sherlock Holmes, and A Dangerous Method, where he teams up with his most famous student, Carl Jung. Freud was born in 1856. He spent most of his life in Vienna, Austria, and he died in London soon after retreating there prior to the beginning of World War II. He died in 1939. He's one of the most famous scholars ever, but he's not known for any single discovery. Instead, he's known for the development of an encompassing theory of the mind, an encompassing scientific theory of the mind, developed over the span of many decades. He's a scholar of extraordinary energy and productivity, and was enormously well known in his later life. And he's had a very interesting life. Among many other tidbits about Freud, he suffered from various addictions. For part of his life, he was a pretty serious cocaine addict, and he found cigars irresistible and was perpetually smoking them, leading to his eventual suffering from cancer of the mouth.